I want to show you a perfect example of how women fail upwards. There's something odd about Aubrey Plaza, right? It's something odd about her, but she succeeds anyway, right? She doesn't know how to put on the mask. Doesn't stop her, right?
What if you were neither? What if you had the talent and you had the range, but were able to carve out a massively successful career out?
She doesn't have the talent nor range. She's just being herself, dude, and people just like her. That's it. This guy's going to show how this woman is typecast. Why? Because she doesn't have range.
Of just being yourself.
And you had a stroke, that's what I remember.
Yes, let's talk about that again.
Someone will die.
Of fun.
Kill, kill, kill. You old people.
I need my diaper changed.
So many mistakes. Not happy with my life. I am.
Are you on medication? Some sort of
Oh, I'm on. Oh no, not for sick.
It's rare you
Yeah, she's really awkward, right? You see, what it is with guys, they have to reverse. Guys have to become famous before their weird personalities are accepted. This young lady is the cart before the horse, right? Or it's reversed for her, I should say. She is desired for herself, and therefore fame follows.
see actors with an off-screen persona that rivals any character they've portrayed on screen. Anna Kendrick, Joaquin Phoenix, and Jennifer Lawrence, to name a few. But Joaquin's personality was the product of a turbulent upbringing and a resentment towards fame.
During that time in which you're most vulnerable, there are helicopters flying over, there are people that are trying to sneak onto your land.
Anna Kendrick and Jennifer Lawrence are a bit more outwardly expressive, and can often command the attention of a room by flexing their unfiltered charm.
I feel like nobody wants to hear me talk.
I want to hear, here.
Here's the real deal. It's a nightmare in here.
Yet, there's one actress who seems to command an almost cult-like following through being both outwardly blunt.
My sole purpose in the movie is to have sex.
Yeah, men can't be blunt, right? We always have to wear the mask. You always have to use innuendo, right? That's what the dating scene is, right? A guy can't just come up to a woman and say, I want to get laid. I really like how you look. You turn me on. He said it doesn't work that way, right? This woman, this beautiful young woman, she can be blunt, right?
Sex with him, and his.
Really, to have sex with Robert De Niro?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God. He's at least 4 times your age.
Okay.
And painfully awkward.
I'm not claustrophobic. I like being in small confined spaces, and I like the feeling of like being crushed. If I had to choose,
It doesn't matter what she says or what she said. I have videos where some woman was banging a dog, literally. In the end, she's gone on with her life. Nothing bad has happened. Here, let me stop something just for a second. Matter of fact, it's a fantasy of guys that women can't wear the mask and drop all the pretense. Here's an anime where the character says something, then immediately says the truth about what she's thinking. Just listen to this.
Thank you! Declares Misaka Misaka full of gratitude!
Whatever.
What's your deal? Asks Misaka Misaka, making her discontent known.
So what is it you've got inside that bag?
If you really want to know and ask nice, maybe I'll show you, says Misaka Misaka, doing her best to resist the urge and show you outright while also maintaining a slight air of pretentiousness.
Then forget the whole thing. I'm not interested.
What?
She can't help but say the truth of her motivations, right?
Was only kidding. You can look if you want to, says Misaka Misaka, dropping her act and giving it to you.
See, so this is so adorable, but it's a part of the male fantasy, right? Like, this is what certain scientific railgun, or in this case, accelerator or whatever. But the point is, this particular character is Japanese made, and it's just basically them saying one of our fantasies is a woman who can't help but tell the truth. All the bullshit goes, right? So that's what's going on here. So this young lady's a fantasy, woman who can't help but just be herself and speak her mind, but also be truthful about what's in her mind.
Way to die. Not that I don't.
This isn't a carefully curated persona, rather, it's the product of an intensely introverted and anxious personality.
I just always have this like
Something that'll hold guys down. But notice it rockets her to the top.
existential crisis whenever I go on those shows.
A guy would be called creepy, but she's called quirky.
My mind, I'm like, none of these people care about what I did over the summer.
It's apparent even in her earlier interviews.
She hates Scott Pilgrim with a passion and lets him know it every time she's on screen.
The thing is, she's no stranger to either the stage or a live audience. Since around 2004, she'd been sharpening her skills doing improv, sketch comedy, and the occasional stand-up. Even when breaking into the industry, her trademark demeanor was still clearly present.
Did you just ask me to like music?
Yeah, she's the same character every time herself, right?
Yeah, I'm aware that's a weird
It's like asking me if I like food.
Yet, despite the experience and newly found career traction, she was still the same Aubrey Plaza. Typically, within an industry so fast-paced, you're forced to adapt in an effort to stay afloat. There's an immense amount of stress that comes with trying to compete with thousands of individuals who
She's not really competing though. She just happens to be the it girl for this year, right? All these it girls disappear after a while, right?
either seem more charismatic, have better connections, or are simply just lucky. She's made it clear that she's no stranger to feelings of inadequacy or doubt.
I was just like, at any moment, like, they're gonna, like, discover that I'm a complete fraud.
Experiencing levels of stress that at times can be completely...
Yeah, but you're not a fraud though, lady. You got lucky. People like your personality. Hey, guys, this is no different from Sean Connery, right? Think about Sean Connery. Sean Connery's himself in every role he plays. He's not a chameleon, right? He's just Sean Connery saying his lines, right? What was that movie? I'm trying to remember it. The one where he played the swordsman. He's supposed to be Spanish with a thick Scottish brogue. Highlander, that's what it was. If people like you, that's it.
Debilitating. Given that this industry is so cosmetic, so well polished and put together, you begin to sympathize that much more.
But he was the reverse, right? Sean Connery had to prove himself in the old movies, luck out into the Bond before he could get into all these other movies and just be himself. This young lady is herself. She's a good-looking girl who's quirky and speaks without a mask on. Guys love it.
Like Aubrey, a lot of us struggle with the anxiety that comes with any large amount of attention, and as a result, we're often defensive.
Off. I don't hate anybody.
Social media is packed with knee-jerk cynical takes and constant scolding.
Oh God, I'm scared of Reddit. I'm scared.
We're afraid to be outwardly vulnerable. It's just far more convenient to be a critic. I think some of that is reflected in these interviews or characters.
Give me a break. I don't even know you.
She'll be yesterday's news because I'll tell you, one of the it girls was Emily Blunt, but Emily Blunt has talent. And so she's remained. This young lady will be flavor of the day.
This is the longest conversation we've ever had.
We find ourselves drawn to her because she represents a lot of the behaviors that run contrary to the well-put-together image of Hollywood stars.
Show me your ring.
Yeah, what it is she can't help herself and be truthful, right? And I know men find it refreshing.
To put it simply, she seems just like us.
There's this paparazzi picture of Hugh Jackman, and I think we have it here. And if you look in the background, you're just there eating.
She can win a room over and command attention without even really trying.
I don't know what you're talking about. You guys are insane.
However, before the fame would come the struggle.
In the place that I was, which was nowhere, had literally gotten fired from a waitressing job, and I
Hear that? She's a highly skilled person. She was the only job she could get was waitressing, and she sucked at it. All you guys out here who talk about self-improvement, look at this talentless bum, right? Failing upwards. She can't even hold down a job, but she's a pretty young woman. There you are.
I was struggling, not knowing what I was going to do.
Fortunately, where some casting directors would see an uncomfortable, overly subtle attempt at deadpan humor, others would see an authentic goldmine.
You know, I had nothing going on for me. Like, sure, like I'll go to whatever
Yeah, she lucked out, right?
meeting you want, lady. I don't give a shit. And then
Michael Schur, one of the executive producers on Parks and Rec, got a call from the casting director, Allison Jones, and she said, I've just met the weirdest person in the world, and I'm sending her to you.
I pitched him the character, basically, and then he was like, okay, and then...
There was something so unique about her, so oddly captivating, so much so that it seemed like her first massive role in Parks and Rec was already set in stone.
In the original pilot script, the character's named Aubrey. They changed it to April right before we started shooting.
April Ludgate was Aubrey Plaza 2.0.
I will Photoshop his face.
Right. She was herself. She failed upwards, yeah.
Can you Photoshop your life with better decisions, Jerry? Okay.
She had the deadpan delivery, the uncomfortable stare, and arguably some of the best.
The uncomfortable stare, that would be creepy. If a guy was looking at a girl like that, you'd call him a creep and call the police. But of course, it's a positive. It's quirky for her.
Comebacks in the entire show.
Hey, Anne, are you still a nurse, or did they fire you because you slept with all the doctors?
You want to try that again? Hey, I'm thinking about getting a new phone. Do you guys
So she was given all the good lines, so that helped, right?
like your phones?
I've never used a phone in my life.
You guys will never believe what I just found on Jerry's Facebook.
A friend.
Even better was the security and stability that came with a recurring role, in collaboration alongside an all-star cast. With her short-term future seemingly secured, she could focus on other projects, and so she would. Later in that year, she'd land a role as Seth Rogen's love interest in
And she's the exact same personality, right?
Funny People.
So I guess we will go to the show together.
Not anymore.
You serious?
No, I'll go.
Oh, okay.
Once again showcasing her trademark attitude. This would be
Right. Trademark, exactly. She has no talent range whatsoever. She's just liked for being who she is, right? I wish I could fail upwards like this.
kicked up to a 10 a year later with Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
You know what? Maybe it's high time you took a look in the mirror before you wreak havoc on another girl.
Just really aggressive. I don't know why it was just so easy for me to do that.
It was here where people
Because you were acting like a woman would towards a guy. Aggressive and mean. Why he talks so stupid for?
started to really pay attention to her off-screen presence. These unpredictable moments made her a clear standout, and given the cult following Scott Pilgrim would develop on then-booming social media sites like Tumblr and Twitter, they'd begin spreading like wildfire.
That's right, I'm half Puerto Rican. And then I have a lively Irish Catholic side of my family.
Which do you prefer?
Both. I mean, there's just so much alcohol either way you go, so.
Yeah, that is quirky and that is charming. I gotta admit, right? So what I'm saying, I'm gonna end it here because you don't need to go any further. Renzi, all you're saying is a pretty young woman who doesn't wear the mask, people find charming, and she failed upwards, right? She's flavor of the year, right? She'll be gone eventually because she has no real acting range. And no real talent. I bet her stand-up was very boring, or at the very least, very average, right? And you can't even hold a waitressing job down. Just what was it? Esther Villar. She said it. You know, a woman good looking enough could have the brains of a chimp and still get by in life. Perfect example. Okay, let's end it here.